The leaders of Asia's most powerful countries are gathered in Brussels this week for a series of talks with their European counterparts. It's the 8th Asia-Europe Summit, and talks will focus on the global economy, on climate change and on trade relations. Well, one of the attendees is Thailand's Prime Minister Abhisit Vejjajiva, and he joins me now. Thank you very much indeed for joining us today. If I could begin by asking you about the economy in Thailand. It is growing at its fastest pace in 15 years, despite that political turmoil earlier this year. Which sectors do you see as the key drivers in growth for Thailand?
Well, certainly exports have contributed a lot because we have enjoyed about 30% export growth for the first 8 months of this year. But generally, there has been a broad-based and balanced recovery. So the domestic economy itself is fairly strong. I think that's a response to the stimulus packages we put in last year. The only sector obviously lacking is tourism, which may have been affected by the events of April and May. But even that sector is also recovering well.
Now, of course, the Thai baht has strengthened significantly as well. At what point do you begin to worry that this is actually going to hurt Thai exporters, and what can you do to prevent it from rising further?
We continue to run a current account surplus, and exports, despite the appreciation of the baht, have continued to remain strong. Obviously, it affects the income of exporters in baht terms. We have no policy of setting exchange rate targets. What we try to do, of course, is to make sure that there is no excess volatility.
Now, there has been a series of grenade attacks in recent months in Bangkok. That obviously has affected tourism, coupled with the events of last year. Just what stage are you at in terms of being in control of the centre of Bangkok and giving reassurance that that danger is not going to flare up again?
Well, overall, I think there is a clear progress in terms of stabilization. Just before I left Bangkok, I lifted the state of emergency in 3 more provinces in the northeast. Obviously, with some of the attacks in Bangkok, we have the state of emergency still in place for Bangkok and the surrounding provinces. But if you were in Bangkok, you would probably not notice that it is a state of emergency. We do this basically to prevent and be more efficient in our preventive measures against further attacks.
Now, of course, the opposition are calling that state of emergency a political tool. Is it useful, or is it something that is repressing people in Bangkok?
You know, there is no repression whatsoever. It's there to ensure the safety of Thai people, of the Thai public, and of course of foreign visitors. It allows us to be able to integrate the various officials so they can work together on security issues.
Now, the former Prime Minister, Thaksin Shinawatra, is still living abroad. How concerned are you that his support for him will reignite protests?
Well, there have been some demonstrations, but so long as they are peaceful, there are the exercise of constitutional rights, that is fine by us. I think that recently we've seen some good gestures coming from the opposition. I think they are now keen to join the reconciliation process because they recognize that the only way forward is for rule of law and democracy to progress.
One of the main issues in Thailand that sparked this turmoil is, of course, the income gap in Thailand. What are you doing to try and help the poorest people, and particularly the people living in rural areas in Thailand?
Well, we've made very good progress over the last year. We have put in place for the first time income guarantee program for farmers so that our rural population for the first time is ensured the security of being able to grow rice and other main crops and not making a loss. At the same time, we've initiated a number of programs, including free education and income support for the elderly. So on the whole, the figures show that the situation on inequality has now improved, and that we are now moving towards a more comprehensive welfare system.
Mr. Vejjajiva, thank you very much indeed for joining us today.